And to be honest, that's what it is. But that's all my point of view, and that's why I consider I guess you could say an opinion. I guess. But go ahead there, Andrew.
Yeah, I wanted to say that, this is one of the places that I tend not to agree with I guess what I would call a more liberal mindset, which is, there's a lot of social engineering in liberalism, and we've got to make sure that these people learn and that they get their education, and because that bolsters our society and that improves things. I don't necessarily have problems with that mentality. I just don't hold it personally. I don't agree with it personally. I don't give a fuck whether those people learn or not. I think that it's all about me. And that's how I felt about my education. If I'm an intelligent person that's trying to learn, that's doing well, then the system should be built at giving me a better advantage and helping me learn. And these fucking dumbasses who want to learn about Jesus or some other stupid bullshit, like they should be left behind to do whatever their shit is or whatever they want to do, because it doesn't concern me. You see, like you're saying, well, but if you move all the smart kids out and you put them, in a different school, then it's going to make it really hard for the dumb kids to ever get a hand up, because their funding will get cut down, and they're gonna have all these other problems. Well, that ain't my issue, right? Like I don't care. Fuck them, as far as I'm concerned. They can all rot in hell. I am concerned about what do we do with the smart kids? How are we bolstering their education? Because those are the people that are going to change our society, that are going to help. As far as these fucking idiots, their high school education is useless, because I think if you go in a college classroom, you quickly find that these people in college do not remember anything about high school, just like they didn't remember anything from year to year in high school, just like they didn't remember anything from year to year in elementary school. Because they will never remember anything because they don't give a fuck. Because either they're too stupid, or they're not paying attention, or whatever the reason is. I don't care, but they're useless to me, right? Somebody's got to dig the ditches, and it's going to be them. I mean, I know that this is a cold and elitist perspective. It's mean, okay? I don't deny that, but after years of being held back for the sake of other people who needed to be held back because they weren't trying, I'm fed up with those motherfuckers. I don't care what happens to them. Well, Daedamot, I'm disputing you mainly, and you're just kind of looking down. Okay, like what do you intend to do about the smarter kids? Are they just made to be restricted by their peers? Because we can't, no child left behind, and we can't just leave those people to rot. Like what do we do? Where are we going to focus our efforts?
Well, I think there's societal implications if you don't make it the strongest attempt possible to educate everyone. Because if you don't, what's going to happen to these people when they get out in society? These are the people that are more likely to turn to crime. They're going to be more likely to be, the type of people that we don't want in society. And we have to give them a chance. And sometimes it's difficult, but it can be done. We can turn people's lives around. Creating a system where, a lot of things. Oh yeah, Stephen Hawking. That's a good example. I'm just saying that, and also, the classic example. Albert Einstein was got failed math all the time. You know, he couldn't pass math class. Or is that an urban legend? Okay, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, I'm just saying that there are people who fuck up and keep fucking up, and like we gotta give them a shot. I mean, we can't cordon them off into the stupid area. And not only that, Cerebro, but have you ever thought of like what that will do to the student's self-esteem? What if you're one person who's honestly trying, and then you get set off to the stupid school? I mean, what's that going to do to your initiative? Are you just going to give up? I think that's likely. I think you might just say, oh, fuck it. And I think that's horrible. That's a horrible fucking thing to do. I'm not saying it because I don't want to hurt the kids' feelings. I'm saying it because those kids will not try unless you give them an incentive to try. You got to reach them. You got to reach out as many people as possible. And not only that, as far as your argument that smart kids are being held back, I don't know about you, but at my school there was a GATE program. There were stuff that was there for gifted and talented people that would supplement their education so they don't want to get bored. And you know, if you're really smart, you don't even have to go through the school system at all. Like, you know, when you have these child prodigies who just get advanced through the school, you know, they'll just go to college when they're like 15, or they'll go to college when they're 12, you know, because they're really, really smart. You know, they'll skip you ahead. If you are that far advanced that you are just sitting in class bored because you're just too damn smart, then they'll take you out of that class. They're gonna put you in an accelerated learning program. They're gonna recommend you go to this prep school or you do this because you need to reach these. You have this kid that is gifted and he needs to be put into the like accelerated program. So there are options there. You don't have to. I think what you're doing is basing the system based on like, well, we just need to focus on the people who are the best. And I just think that is fundamentally flawed because, you know, when we do that, then the pool of people who are not as good becomes bigger and bigger. And I feel like it's a vicious cycle that feeds on itself. Like I said, I'm all about incentives that you're creating, and I don't want to create incentives that encourage students to be not as good as they could be because, you know, they can go to the party school. If they're getting frustrated with their studies, if they're getting frustrated that they can't figure out their education, that all they have to do is fuck up a few more times and then they'll get sent to the tard school. You know, I mean, I just fundamentally disagree with that idea.
Go ahead, boys.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of attribute most of my being held back because, you know, I grew up during the Bush era of education. After after I got through elementary school, there was junior high. You know, and I done fairly well. Like, there was 1 year that I slacked off, that I got all F's on there, and I made it up by getting all A's. You know, on everything except for PE. Like PE, I got like a B. PE, I got like a B. Okay, but that was about it. You know, like I got all A's next year and all that stuff. But you know, but anyways, after like Bush passed No Child Left Behind, that was when my education started really lagging behind. You know, so I more or less attribute my being held back more towards that, rather than towards a lot of these dumb fucks who were fucking with me in school, which of course they were, but they didn't affect my own education. You know, the only problem was as I had to bug the shit out of one of my teachers to get me a fucking algebra book so I can advance beyond fucking fractions. And interestingly enough, however, in high school, they weren't teaching anything beyond the students anything beyond fractions. And that was because of No Child Left Behind and the limited budget that they had within that area of the school, you know. I mean, it was kind of like shit like that kind of made me try to convince my dad to fucking homeschool me. You know? Like, I wanted to be homeschooled. I didn't want to be around these fucking assholes who would try to disrupt my education. But, you know, it wasn't too bad. You know, I got a lot of good grades. I had mostly A's on a lot of my shit. And I wanted to get learned because I wanted to get the fuck out of there, you know? That was kind of my incentive for trying to graduate my school, is I wanted to get the fuck out of there. And now that I'm out of there, you know, it's just, yeah. But anyway, but you know, that's kind of what I attribute my poor education. Not just these fucktards who don't want to learn, but just to like no child left behind. But I don't know, maybe we grew up in like the different area. Like a different era as far as our education goes.
Okay, look, I can understand what the flaws in what I'm pushing are. Don't get me wrong. I don't completely believe anything that I say. But my issue, Daedamot, what you're talking about is with the advanced classes and the incentives. My problem with those is that you have to excel greatly in the standard education to get into those classes. Okay. And the problem with that is that the standardized based in if you said you get the points, and that's all there is to it. And that's so that, you know, when people go and they take the test, if they fail the test because they didn't learn anything, then, you know, they still don't fail the class. They still get a C or a B. Whereas the person who, as I did, refuses to fill out the homework because he's wasting my fucking time, and gets an A on all the tests, well, then where does that leave you? It's like a D. Okay, that's the problem. The grade should not be weighted that way. It should be weighted around actually learning the material, not around whether you did the busy work and you jumped through the fucking hoops. And this is an education system that teaches people to be compliant, not intelligent, just to do what they're told. And if you excel in that system, then yeah, you can move on to the advanced education stuff. But they always had trouble getting me into those. I mean, teachers would always push to try to get me into them, but the administration would say, no, this kid acts out, he doesn't follow rules, he doesn't do his homework, why should he get this opportunity? Now, I understand that, you know, the idea that if somebody is not complying with the rules, then why should they be rewarded? But I don't think that complying with the rules should be what education is about. You know, that's my problem. And for the record, I dropped out of fucking high school in freshman year. Okay? And by the time I got to college, I was explaining all the things, and, you know, you have to take your 101 classes, which are basically just what they taught you in high school. I was trying to explain to all the people in those classes that all you had to do was read the fucking book. You didn't even need to have gone to high school. You could sit over a week, read through the textbook, and you got the class. That's all you had to do. And these people were still relearning the same shit over and over again. You understand? So high school, to me, I don't see what point it was, because I skipped it completely, and I did just fine in college.
Well, no, I